everyone! Today we have a quick but fun project that I've been looking forward to all year, and that is turning my single stem sunflowers into a trellis for my peas. Now I did this for the first time last year, had no idea how it was going to turn out. It turned out even better than I'd imagined. So basically last year I was getting ready to pull my sunflowers in order to plant peas in that raised bed. And as I was getting ready to pull them, I was thinking, well, what should I use for a trellis? And then I stared at the sunflower stalks and I thought, maybe I can just leave these here and they'd be a trellis, and it turned out really great. I left it up all winter and I didn't remove it till spring, and then I kept those sunflower stalks and I've used them in things around the garden. So I'll also show you how I've reused the stalks from last year as we get this trellis set up. So let me go take you over to where the sunflowers are and I will talk through what I'm going to do. The sunflowers are over here in this lowest raised bed on my west-facing garden. These are the Sunrich Summer Provence sunflowers, and because they don't bloom very long, you know, I do love sunflowers, but I like to keep things in my garden that are consistently blooming, but because I get multiple uses out of these, I'm probably going to grow these sunflowers in this exact same spot, well, until I don't want to anymore. But there are 9 total in here. You can see they've already lost the petals on the main heads, but I did want to show you what happens when you cut those off. So some still have it on, but look at this one back here. So this one I've already cut off the main head, and it starts to flower along the stem right by the leaf nodes. So you do still get more flowers after these main flowers are removed. So it looks pretty as I make the trellis. There are 9 total in here. I basically gather 3 together, tie them up, and then I have 3 triangle-shaped trellises in the garden. Now I've also gone ahead and used the stems here from last year as supports for this year's sunflowers. So there's some twine wrapped around this stalk of the sunflower, and I find that the sunflower stalk works really well because compared to, I think I was using metal poles in the past, the twine sticks to it because the stalk is rough, so it's not slipping up and down. So I really like that. I've also used sunflower stalks inside. Maybe I'll show you that right at the end. But let's go ahead now and turn these into a trellis. So first thing is to remove these other heads. Just snip right below. Also helps keep them upright. Now I'm taking twine and just gathering 3 closest together. This is where I always wish I had a third hand. So just wrapping this around and tying. And it's as easy as that. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the next 2 groupings. And here's what we look like now. So I have 3 groupings of 3, and I think they still look like a really pretty part of the garden. I will leave these tiny flowers on. They dry throughout the winter. It still looks cool once I pull them out in the fall. So the next step now is to plant peas down here in this bed, but I think I'm going to pull some stuff first. So my status is growing right here. I already did pull one of my Mexican tarragon. I'm drying that. I think I'm going to leave the one here, the one on this side. So I'll move these two status plants, harvest the flowers on them, dry those, and then plant peas right in this section. Now, might tighten this twine a little bit around the branches because that'll help get the peas up. I also might add some layers of twine going up as well, although they climbed just fine with one piece of twine last year. I'm going to go ahead and pull the status right now. This is one of the hard parts of having a smaller garden, is things that are still looking good need to be removed if I want to have room for fall plants. So let's just pull you out. Good strong root system there. Something that's interesting, is this one or two plants? Let me see. Get that out of the twine first. I mean, this looks like one plant, but maybe I planted two together. It has both purple and yellow flowers, so it must be two different plants in here, but it really looks like one. So there is one, and then right here is the other one. So now I have the space right here for my peas. I also might cut this back a little bit just to make sure they're getting sun. And I'm going to put in here just a little bit of compost to mix around in the soil so there's some nutrients for the peas. So I'm just about ready to plant, but let me go over the varieties that I'm growing because I'm doing two different ones in the raised bed this year. So first is the Royal Snap 2 snap peas. These are from Johnny's Seed. I've grown these. This is either going to be my third or fourth year, and I've used this exact same packet all those years. I didn't notice any decrease in germination over the last 3 years, so hopefully germination rates are still good on this. But that's why I don't really save a ton of seeds unless it's one that I can't get a hold of or I'm running out of, because one packet lasts me many, many years. So we're going to try some of those. I like those because they're pretty. So the seed pod is purple, and I often choose things in the garden that look good. Don't really notice a difference in flavor between any other snap peas, but I like the way that they look. The other one that I'm doing is Park Seed Pea Patio Pride. I like that alliteration, Pea Patio Pride. So this is my first year trying these out, and these pods are just completely green. They are great for containers. So I'm going to sow both of these. I think I'm just going to like flip-flop back and forth. And I think both of them say they'll get to about 24 inches tall. So again, they stay relatively short in stature comparatively. I think some peas can get like 3 to 4 feet tall. So for my size of the garden, these hopefully will work out really well. I mean, I know these have. Hopefully these do too. Spacing on these will be about 1 inch, 2 inches apart. I usually go about maybe 1 inch, inch and a half. And then I like to sow 2 seeds into each hole, again, just to ensure germination. And then we just wait until they're ready to harvest. So just taking my finger and I'm going to poke a little bit in front of the sunflower stalks. Obviously the sunflowers have roots, so I can't go right up next to the base because it's too dense, but right here we are looking pretty good. So just down to about 1 inch with my finger, and then just dropping peas into the hole, 2 seeds at a time in each hole, alternating. So these are I keep wanting to say patio baby. Is that an eggplant? I think that is an eggplant. The Pea Patio Pride, 2 in each. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. So I think I have 5 holes with those. And then obviously if both seeds germinate, I will thin them. And then now I'm going to plant the Royal Snap 2, 2 in each hole. Pretty easy. I can't believe this is the first fall crop that I'm planting, because fall means winter is right around the corner. And just covering them up with the soil. Then I'm going to water them in, and we'll be done with this task. Now there is drip in that raised bed, but that drip is a very targeted drip. So it's the proven winner's drip system where instead of spraying a stream or a little fountain of water, it just drips right at one location. So it's good if it's right next to one plant, but when I have all of those seeds there, obviously there's not drips to each of them. So I will hand water those probably for a while until the root systems are large enough that they can get water from the other drips. That is one thing that I kind of go back and forth on. I really like that, again, for one targeted plant, but I think in my garden, with the amount that I put into each container, or at least in the larger raised beds and grow bags, it would make more sense to use something like the Carpathian system I have with little sprinklers. But that is the way my garden is set up right now. Will I ever fix it? Maybe, but I also like to be lazy. So we'll see. That's going to be everything as far as specifics with the pea trellis with the sunflowers and planting the peas. So now we just wait for them to grow. Let me take you inside though and quickly show you where I am drying the status that I pulled. And before I do that, let me also show you what I have left over from last year. So these are those sunflower stalks last year. You can see the little flowers that dried on it. I also had a few other sunflowers growing last year, so I had a few extra stalks. So I haven't used all of them, but when I've needed them, they've come in handy. Here's my cat needing attention when I'm doing something else and not wanting attention when I am available. Hi, Penelope. He's a good girl. So the other place that I've used one of the sunflower stalks, I'll pet you just a second, is to support my Hoya carrii. So not the circles, but that stem going right up the middle is what I'm using to support the plant. And like I said, because this material on the sunflower stalks is more rough, the twine holds it and stays in place. So definitely a lot of useful purposes for your sunflower stalks. So I recommend saving them. But this is where I've been drying my herbs and flowers. As you can see, I'm quickly running out of room, but these are just 3 curtain rods from Amazon. I think they're spaced about 18 inches apart, and I just hang them with twine. And it's really nice because, well, 1, it doesn't take up a lot of space, and 2, it's just really pretty to look at. So the status that I just pulled is this one right here. I need to go through and figure out which of the flowers and herbs are completely dry to make more room, but I absolutely love how this turned out. So that's going to be everything for this video. Just a quick task, but definitely feels like we are about to transition into the seasons, even though it is still very, very warm outside. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what fall crops you've already started, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.